creating an image map in Illustrator. An image map basically defines an area of an illustration to use as a link. So the user clicks that area of the image defined as a link, and when they're in the web browser, that then loads the linked file, the linked URL. So we're going to create some image maps here. The benefit of using an image map over a slice is that an image map doesn't have to be rectangular. When we used our slice tool here, or created slices from guides or a slice from a selection, it was always a rectangle. It couldn't be anything but a rectangle. When we use an image map, we can use some of these irregular, odd-shaped objects. So we're defining really a hotspot. Maybe that would make more sense to define it as a hotspot in my image map. So let's go ahead and do that. I have the state of Minnesota here, and I have a few of the counties in our area highlighted. So what I'm going to do is zoom in here a little bit closer. Now when I'm defining these colors, what I have here is actually the entire illustration here is grouped. What I did was I did a file in place, brought in this graphic, then I chose to embed it, then I chose to trace it. And after tracing it, the object is grouped. I did do some alterations and deletions, but it's still grouped. Remember, we can use this group selection tool to select individual pieces within a group. If I deselect, I can go back and select these individual components. One other thing that's noteworthy are web-safe colors. Now, there really is no guarantee for color consistency between browser to browser or even computer to computer, but some may think using the web-safe colors, these predefined colors that are coded to be recognized by most computer displays and by the common web browser applications, some feel that that is the safer way to go. I don't think you can really say anything is safe as far as the web-safe colors go, but we do have web-safe color palette here. And so I can fill in my colors with that web-safe color if I choose to do so. Okay, now how do we define this image map? What we need to do is select these components. Remember, everything is grouped, so I'm using my group selection tool here to select. We'll start with McLeod County. I need to look or find my attributes panel. This is a panel that maybe you haven't really paid attention to. It comes up like this. There are more options. You'll need to expand it. Kind of that 3-shade view, the window shade effect that we used to call that. So here in my attributes, once I expand it to see all of the options, notice that I have image map here and a drop down. So I have some options here where I can choose none. I can choose rectangle, that would make a rectangle, or I can choose polygon. And by choosing polygon, this will allow me to use an irregular, odd-shaped object. So once I have my area defined, so to speak, for my hotspot, then I can go ahead and put in my URL. So I happen to have a couple of these county pages open. We'll select the McLeod County page, their URL, so Control-C to copy this. Back to Illustrator. In my URL, I'm going to do Control-V to paste. Okay, and that's all I need to do. Now I can type some information, some notes here if I would like. Let's go ahead and now define Meeker. Meeker is selected. Okay, we want to make sure that I deselect here. Let's go to Meeker, and we're going to define a new area here. Copy. Back to Illustrator, and I'm going to redefine this as Meeker. Okay, so now how do we test this? We need to do the File and Save for Web. So of course I can choose some optimization here, but these are not slices this time. This is one image, but with defined hotspot areas. So to preview this, what I'm going to do is just click my preview button here at the bottom. Preview. This will preview this in my browser, and again I get my HTML here that you can see has my Meeker County, and if I click Meeker County here, brings up that page. So image maps, remember, are a bit different than slices in that I'm able to define an area to act as though it's a hotspot, and the benefit of the image map is that I can have irregular, odd-shaped definition areas. So that's an image map.